Anybody new, bud? 2 years or less. 5 years or more. So we have a pretty good distinguished group. All right. Well, I've been in business for 22 years. I started out with Farmers Insurance, and I moved away and I came back home, and I really saw the need to go a different route than a captive agency when I moved back. That's when I became independent, and soon I found out, gosh, this is not the best thing because I could only get a few contracts. And that really tied my hands. So in 2010, I joined We Insure, and I went from 15 companies to over 100, just like that. So what that does, it gives me the power to offer our clients the best selection out there as they go through their insurance life. You know, and why is it so important to have a good partnership with a good agency? Now, I'll tell you why. Because it can make or break a deal. How many here have ever had a house that you're trying to sell that you found out has a bad roof? It's over 15 years old. Or it has polybutylene piping in it, or it has old galvanized piping. And all of a sudden the seller says, you know what, I don't want to fix it. The buyer wants the house, but they don't put the money into it until it's theirs. We have options, we can take care of it and so forth. I'm sure you've had a house now, by now we've gone through the sinkhole mess. You've had a house that's been remediated, and all of a sudden you come, okay, we need to get some insurance on this house. Doreen's going to come here in a minute and go into detail about that, because she has definitely become our sinkhole specialist. But let's talk about, as I get my little cheat sheet here, DTI problems, you know, with mortgages. I'm an old mortgage broker too, so I can actually help make sure that that deal goes through. With the amount of carriers that we have, we can shop it and find the one that will close that deal for you. If you don't know the difference between a captive agent and an independent agent, a captive agent is like Farmers, State Farm, Allstate, and they only have a few handful of companies. So if they tell you, hey, this is all we have, they're not lying, that is all they have. So the true way to go, and nowadays, especially in Florida, is the independent way. I'd like to go in a little bit more about inspections, because our poor clients are inundated with inspections. You know, you got the full-blown inspection, which hopefully all of y'all make sure that you push your customer to get, because it shows all the details, the cracks and so forth, but that's not the report that we give to an insurance company, because they will definitely deny your insurance. The 4-point inspection now is required for most every house that's over 30 years old, and that handles all your critical parts, your electrical, your plumbing, your heating, and your roofing. But we do have some carriers that don't require a 4-point inspection. So all of a sudden you have a rush closing and you find out, oh, we need a 4-point inspection. We have options for you. You don't have to have a 4-point inspection to close on the house. Wind mitigation. I'm sure everybody here, since we don't have a lot of newbies, wind mitigation is very important. It can save anywhere from a couple $100 to you know, up to $1,000, depending on the house, the roof, and size. Bottom line, if the house was built after March 2002, you do not need a wind mitigation report to get a discount. It's already built into the software. If it was built before 2002, we recommend it. Also, a hip roof. Everybody knows what a hip roof is? I call it a stealth-looking roof. But you know, it's amazing to me that we're not building every single house with a hip roof, because right off the bat, a hip roof with most carriers give you anywhere from 15 up to 25% discount without wind mitigation for the entire life of that house. And if you don't have a hip roof, it's a lot higher, substantially higher. A hip roof is basically is 10% or less is gable. We can get away with calling it a hip roof, okay, with the house.